Elsewhere now, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he will start giving daily briefings on the coronavirus situation in the United Kingdom. Well, he's already convened an emergency meeting of cabinet. The UK has taken a distinctly different approach from other European countries. It hasn't restricted movement or closed schools, and that's despite the number of deaths doubling in the last 24 hours to 35. Ollie Barrett is live with us from London right now. Ollie, so the government there facing lots of pushback against its herd immunity plans.
Yeah, and the government actually saying that herd immunity is not a central part of its strategy. It may be a side effect of it, but it is not something that it is specifically at this time aiming for. So there's been a little bit of confusion around this idea of herd immunity and whether or not the government is indeed focused on it. So that will be a key part of the briefing that we hear later on. The Prime Minister and his scientific and medical advisors are certain to face some pretty tough questions about that. Herd immunity is something that the UK scientists hope will become a byproduct of their strategy in fighting the coronavirus outbreak, to give the UK population more immunity to a second potential wave of a COVID-19 outbreak at some point in the future. But it really is something that's become very, very controversial here in the UK in recent days. And as I say, that's one of the reasons that we expect Boris Johnson to be questioned very strongly on it later on today, after he's chaired the COBRA emergency meeting focused on coronavirus, and he will expect some pretty tough questions on that issue, and will have to set out a clear line to try and unmuddy some of the waters.
Ollie, the manner in which the UK has decided to attack this COVID-19 outbreak has indeed been controversial, and now, of course, we've got these daily briefings that are about to begin. Why the decision from the PM to start doing this now?
Well, I think it's partly because of that difference in the way that the UK is responding to this outbreak from other countries around the world. It's led to a lot of people here in the UK, but elsewhere too, saying, why is the UK's scientific advice seemingly so different from many other countries, particularly many of its close European allies on this continent, some of whom it even shares a border with, like the Republic of Ireland. So the government clearly feeling it needs more briefings to set out its strategy to the public and explain exactly what it is doing. I think there was also a sense over the course of the weekend here in the UK that there was a lot of discussion online and on social media among Britons who were not entirely clear of the government's strategy so far, and the government clearly feels there is a gap that needs to be filled. It really signs, I think, is aware that it slightly let its communication strategy get out of hand over the course of the weekend.
All right. Always good to talk to you, Ollie. That was Ollie Barrett there, live for us in London.